Welcome to another episode, everyone. Fat Joe is in big trouble. He gets a chilling, threatening warning from an ex-Gambino mob boss, crime boss, this individual here. He sends a chilling warning to Fat Joe. Fat Joe, they say, is a liar, that he fabricates and concocts his stories. Fat Joe has his own podcast there with Jadakiss. And I've seen the podcast where Fat Joe says that he was somewhere, I believe at a concert or something, and an individual, an ex-mob boss, approached him and tried to play tough with him, said, man, you know who I am? I'm a killer, and this and that. This is what Fat Joe says the mob boss came to him and said while he was at this concert or something. He says he got upset, irritated, frustrated, did Fat Joe, and he roughed the mob boss up because the mob boss, the ex-mob boss, is a snitch. They call these individuals turncoats. Anyone who cooperated with the authorities or what have you, they are considered to be turncoats in that culture. I believe that this is one of the individuals here, allegedly, supposedly. Let me be careful. Supposedly, allegedly, a turncoat. I don't know, man. I don't know. But it says ex-Gambino crime boss. So if he's an ex, if he ain't in the mob until he died, then he turned coat. I ain't worried about it. I ain't scared of you. I got my people too. Ex-Gambino mob boss sends a strong warning to Fat Joe is the headline. So Fat Joe says he roughed the dude up, played with his chin a little bit and all this. Now this dude is responding to Fat Joe, and he's upset.
I got to address a video of Fat Joe that thinks if he talks about street guys or ex-street guys, it makes him credible. You were accused of raping a girl, 2010, sexual assault.
What?
You should be hiding under a rock somewhere, because what I hear,
Fat Joe was accused of essaying a 10-year-old girl, or he said a little girl in 2010. So he's talking about the video that Fat Joe did. I was just talking about that. The video that he said, you doing a video, if you talk about mob bosses and this and that makes you credible. He's talking about the video, I'm sure, that Fat Joe had just did, where he said, again, that this mob boss approached him and that he roughed the mob boss up because he knew the mob boss was a snitch. Fat Joe said that he thought about all of his friends that got 30 and 40 and 50 years in prison, and he just lost it. As if this is the individual that got his friends 30, 40, and 50 years in prison.
Understand from your past friends, and I'm friends with some of the TS guys you used to stay with that you fucked over. I'm friends with Cuban Link that you fucked over. So I know I'm getting good information. You're known to taking girls, abusing them, sexually assaulting them, selling heroin your whole life in the Bronx. You ain't no successful singer or money guy, so you can put that shit to rest. You're a classless pig that wears 30 chains around his neck like a child, like you're 15 when you're near 60. And how dare you talk like you want to help kids? Help kids do what? You immature clown. You're nothing but a piece of shit that fucked around with hookers your whole life and strippers. Look at you look like a one-eyed turtle, bald-headed, fat, sloppy body. Abused your wife your whole life, disrespected her with hookers and girls, and every girl that you abused, you shouldn't. And I don't know how that guy sat next to you, knowing that you were accused of all kinds of rapes. You're a low-life, garbage, typical Hollywood big mouth, little spoiled brat, acting like you're a hardcore nigga.
Damn. Easy, mob boss. What we gotta do with this? Damn. Acting like you're a hardcore ninja, he just said. Jeez. Well, a lot of them Italian dudes, the mob bosses and all them, they all racist anyway. They racist. I don't give a damn what they say. Now, perhaps you may say he wasn't trying to be racist there. He's saying he acting like a hardcore. He's just saying Fat Joe is in the culture. But Fat Joe is not black. He just profits off of black culture, like DJ Khaled and all the rest of them, and like the Asians and everyone else that profits off of black people. Black people are dead broke, poor, but everyone else is rich from us. Makes no sense. That just threw me off, though, that hardcore ninja. But okay, so anyway, he's on Fat. He said Fat Joe acting like a hardcore ninja. Oh, he's on him. He said he has many great charges, does Fat Joe, that he's running his mouth, that he's classless, that he beat his wife. The internet beef is real everywhere, even on higher levels. It's just happening everywhere. So this dude is he's not happy with Fat Joe. Who knows where this could end up going. Let's see what else he has to say, though.
He did a couple of months in some county bullshit for, I believe, for tax evasion or some crap. And you're trying to act like you're this hardcore guy because you're mentioning my name and other people's names. When you go to bed at night and you can't get it up, stop mentioning my name. Go mention somebody else's name when you're trying to stay with your wife. And who knows why she's with you. You're a dead bum. Hey, Joe, this is part 2. So, for your bullshit, why don't you tell people?
Man, it's part 2. Okay, so he was on a boat or something just chilling. Part 1. And he ain't had enough, though. He was out there soaking in the sun, but he's not done. He came home now, and it's still on his brain. He came with a part 2 for Fat Joe. He's telling Fat Joe to keep his name out of his mouth and talk about something or someone else. Oh, man.
Hal Pacheco, a cop has been your security since you're a kid. You were best friends with his brother, too. I see he hung around you forever. So the same guys you're calling snitches, you're hiring to protect you. I said, he's still your security along with the guy Rich. That's first. Second, tell everybody how in the barbershop they treated you like a bitch. Sent you to every bodega around. Kicked you in the ass, sent you here, sent you there. You think I don't know all your stories. I says, your buddy, Mark Anthony, the singer. I'm talking about J-Lo's ex. His first cousin, Marco, is my good friend. You're going to see I'm wearing your chain, TS chains. I said, you treated him like shit. He's a Marine, a gentleman, nice guy, tough guy, served his country. You did shit for him in his singing career. You don't want to help him. Your other buddy, Showtime, what'd you do for him? What'd you do for your friend that just died in a story? You got killed since you're a gangster. What'd you do? Did nothing. You just made sure the guy went to prison for killing him. So stop talking like you're about something. You're not about anything. You got cops hanging around protecting.
Oh, wow. He's saying Fat Joe didn't retaliate when his homie got smoked. You ain't do nothing but make sure the dude went to prison. Fat Joe is rich, famous. I'm not sure he's going to go put in some work personally. Perhaps he could have did something else other than making sure he went to prison, but him doing it personally is probably not going to happen. But that's what he's saying. Well, stop acting like you're tough and playing tough. If you're not really about that life and you're not really in the streets, whether you're rich or famous or not, then stop talking like you are.
And then you want to call guys rats and snitches. You're the rat and snitch. You're the guy that fucked your friends over. You're the guy that sold heroin. You're the guy that sits there, spout your mouth off on shows and did nothing for your buddy that got killed. You're the guy that robbed Punch's wife's money. Stop your bullshit, man. Everybody knows you from that neighborhood, man. So we know you're not about it. Don't act like you're about it. You stepped out of your lane. You got skin like a Shar-Pei, man. You're not, I don't even know what you're doing on TV, the way you look, podcasts or anything else. You just shut your mouth, man. You're a soft guy selling heroin. I said, you look in the mirror and hide under a fucking cave, forget about rock, like Bin Laden. You're a disgrace to fucking people. Stop trying to influence kids the wrong way.
Sheesh. Okay. So, supposedly, that's an ex-Gambino, Gotti's crew, crime boss or member or whatever. I don't freaking know. I don't care. But he's an ex-member. He talks like one and acts like one somewhat. Not to stereotype anyone, but nevertheless, some would say that he's talking too much here now, saying that Fat Joe is selling that Beyonce, that Down Baby, that Black Tizard. He's saying this on the internet that Fat Joe is selling his stuff. Fat Joe shouldn't have to sell anything illicit. He has his own money. He should have his own money. Nevertheless, let me know what you think in the comments. There you have it. Ex-mob boss coming for Fat Joe, says that he has great charges from 2010 and other charges, and that he beat his wife, and that he's a coward and a buster and didn't do anything when his friend got killed. Instead, all he did, other than put the individual in jail and made sure he went to jail, and to stop running his mouth and keep his name out of his mouth. Basically, or else you're a coward. That's selling stuff in your neighborhood, he says. But again, Fat Joe had come at him, or at least said that, again, an individual had approached him wherever they were at, and that he handled the individual, the mob boss who had approached him, playing tough, is what Fat Joe had said. Clearly, he was talking about this individual, I suppose, because he's the one responding. When you get mafia individuals on the internet, on YouTube, talking, then you know the game is cooked. Stay safe and stay free, people.